What's going on, guys? It is MurderInc here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today we're going to be talking about the most underrated, overpowered champions, legendaries specifically, that you probably have vaulted. Now obviously not everyone's going to have these champions vaulted. I'm gonna get some comments like, Murder, I've been using these champions forever. There's no way you can make a video to cover every single person watching, but most people have a pretty low opinion of these champions, and I'm here to hopefully shed some light so you can take these champions out of the vault and get some good use out of them, because when you pull a legendary, it should add direct progression to your account. And before I do that, I want to talk about one thing very quickly, which is my champion spotlight videos. I've done tons of champion spotlights in the past, and I really haven't touched on anything outside of brand new champions coming out. So what I want you guys to do is let me know based on the videos I don't have. We do have a 2x event coming up this weekend, so give me some ideas for champions that you guys want to see in a champion spotlight video that I haven't covered yet, or someone else has covered and you really weren't happy with the quality or information given on said champions. So do me a favor, take the time, head to the comments and let me know which champion you guys want to see so I can start making some great champion spotlight videos again. Alright, with that out of the way, let's head straight into the character list and talk about our first champion, which is going to be Warchief. Now if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I've used Warchief before when I did the test to see how hard arena was before the bots and the whole messed up arena system was implemented into the game, and showed you guys what he was like. However, I see so many people just straight up vaulting this guy, and in my opinion, it's for zero reason at all. This guy doesn't need any books. In case you're not familiar, he has a triple hit, he provokes, he steals buff, 100% chance unbooked, so like I said, you need 0 books for this guy. He has a 100% chance to not only steal buffs, but provoke as well for 3 turns. Now just think about a 3-turn provoke. That is incredibly long and can be made even longer with masteries. Then we have this awesome passive here, reflects 60% of the damage taken back to the attacker. Defense increases by 15% for each dead ally. So this guy can be awesome in progression. He can be the biggest pain in arena if you take the time to gear this, and it doesn't require tons of gear either, which is the really cool part. I've had Rotos kill themselves against a Warchief before. It's a lot of fun to watch, and it feels pretty good to watch a Rotos hit this guy over and over again, slowly killing himself. Also, one thing that's surprising, and I am going to let you guys know this right now, as we can see, I do have 2 Warchief here. So what I want to tell you guys is this standstill passive actually works like under Priest Brogni. Now of course it's not going to be as effective. They reflect damage, can reflect masteries to the clan boss. If he's hit, it only applies to him, whereas under Priest Brogni has the chance of proccing it 5 times. However, if you guys want to see it, I will absolutely do it, so go ahead and give this video a like if you want to see me making a double Warchief clan boss team without any single shields, utilizing just the A1 and the master damage from the A3. So we're going to go Giant Slayer here and disable the A2. Even though it does hit pretty hard, we're going to straight up disable it, see how much damage we can do with probably a Skull Crusher since we said no shields, or possibly a Martyr here, and just see what this guy can yield if I do just straight up use 2 Warchiefs in the clan boss. You can also use this guy in the Doom Tower. He is the perfect answer to the Magma Dragon. There are many champions that do have a provoke, but if you have Warchief, you can honestly throw him in there with 4 uncommons and just put it on auto, and he's going to get the job done at any stage in this game. Okay, now that we got the first champion out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to the second champion we're going to talk about today, which is going to be Harvest Jack. Now Harvest Jack was one of the first champions I ever covered on this channel. I do want to revisit him because people still don't understand how strong this guy is. We have stealing buffs on the A1, fear chance on the A1. We have an A2 that places block buffs if the targets are under fear, removes increased attack, places decreased attack. There's so much strong synergy here, making this guy a literal nightmare in the arena. So all of his skills, Dreams to Ash, Harvest to Fear, Lord of Terror, makes sense if you have ever used this guy to success in the arena. Now, to my point with Warchief, this guy also doesn't need to be booked. His percent chances are high enough. Even though the A3 isn't going to be 100%, RNG is your friend, RNG is king. Use him on defense, put him in a shield set, use him something similar to how I have him right here. High health, decent defense, doesn't have to be the fastest, good accuracy, resist doesn't really matter, crit rate, crit damage, that's all self-preference. I have him in a provoke set because I really want to utilize and get benefit from the passive here. When attacked, decreases the durations of all buffs on the attacker by 1 turn. So if for some reason you don't get to steal the buff from the A1, which has a 25%, like I said, each hit, and he does hit 3 times, you can start reducing the buffs of the attacker by 1 turn. And with the current reaction gear, if you are lucky enough to have it, this makes this guy extremely strong in any defense team, and you can even find a way for a solid go second team as well. So outside of arena, once again, progression, this guy is an absolute monster. Clan boss, honestly, I can't comment on that. He does have a triple hit A1 here. So if you wanted to disable the A2 as well as the A3 here, or simply just use the A2 in sync with the clan boss for any affinity boss, as we can see, we'll remove the increased attack from the clan boss and actually place an attack down. I don't think it's going to be a viable strategy to actually use to keep that consistent attack down on the clan boss, but it can help if he is a supporting attack down champion. And like I said, you can just disable that A3 here and go ahead and use his A1 with Giant Slayer to pump out some damage as well. That's definitely going to be more of an early game tactic here, but outside of that, you can see the incredible CC potential in pretty much any dungeon you're trying to progress through, as well as Doom Tower. There are tons of places and hard ways in Doom Tower where you can use Harvest Jack, probably not in a taunting set. You would probably go for something like a shield set, as I mentioned earlier, to use him to your full advantage. Alright, the next underrated champion who actually did get a rework is going to be Shamrock. Now Shamrock's someone I used with Seer a very long time ago because he used to put out a ton of buffs. He still does, but this is another example of a champion that requires 0 books to use, and as we all know, legendary books are so difficult to get. Any champion that doesn't require investment in books is going to add tons of value. So we have defense up, we have increased speed, we have insane 111 base speed on this champion, we have an A1 that has a chance for moving buffs, we have an A3 that decreases speed and decreases the turn meter, and we have an awesome aura that increases accuracy in all battles by 70. So as you can see, I'm not really sure why people have this negative view of Shamrock. He used to not be that good. You still, even before his rework, could have used him with someone like a Seer. You still can today. He has a 50-50 chance of placing the increased crit rate buff as well, so that's an obvious added benefit there. And he also has pretty good survivability tactics here, placing Revive on Death and continuous heal if your allies are below 50%. So if I'm being honest with you guys, I really have no idea why people don't consider this guy such a good legendary, because of his awesome value without any books whatsoever. And I think that's really important, a point that people overlook quite often. They see these awesome legendaries, they could take 13 books and they still consider them the best legendaries in the game. Take Valkyrie for example. Everyone knows she's incredible, but she takes so many books. You really need this on a 3-turn cooldown because her main use is going to be clan boss. Of course, she's great in arena as well. You wouldn't need to book her in arena, but for that main use of clan boss, you can get baited extremely hard by having books land into the A1. And on top of that, now you also have to worry about how many books you will in fact need to hit that cooldown reduction. I just think they tried to compensate way too hard, knowing this champion only had 2 skills. They required way too many books on the A2. This should have been a much more fair champion despite how good she is. So that kind of goes to my point to why I think a lot of champions are overlooked, because people aren't really considering the book value of those champions. Alright guys, and I'm moving on to the final champion today. It has to be Black Knight. I've talked about Black Knight before, I know, and once again shout out to 69 Boomer. He's used Black Knight in the arena. Look at how strong this guy's kit is and tell me, just tell me why people aren't using him to their advantage. My Black Knight is unbooked, 15% continuous heal buff and increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown unbooked. If you book this guy, he's the only champion in the game that has a 2-turn increased defense that will have 100% uptime in every single aspect of this game. On top of that, he has a built-in, look at this, a built-in swift parry set, assuming you get hit for more than 50% of your max health, which is very easy to do. He has a built-in fury mechanic, so you can put this guy in fury gear, kind of like we saw with Leorius, that brand new void legendary, and he does a massive amount of damage at low health. And on top of that, he has an A1 ability with a 75% chance has extremely high percent chance for an A1 of putting a provoke debuff for 1 turn on the enemy. Outside of that, 22,000 base health, 1100 base defense, 100 base speed. This guy has an awesome kit overall, and people rarely talk about him, they rarely use him, and I think he is so slept on in this game because of what he offers you in any content you can think of. Whether it's clan boss, if you want an unbooked champion that provides continuous heal and increased defense, you have it right here with Black Knight. This guy's red affinity, so he's strong against some of the popular magic affinity nukers in the arena currently, and he can be such a nuisance placing that increased defense on with the 2-turn cooldown if you decide to book him. He's constantly placing it, like we said, has the built-in unkillable, which basically serves as swift parry gear. He has this hard-hitting ability, so if you get him down to low health and he gets a turn, he could end up one-shotting the entire enemy team. So there's so much hate for this guy. You can use him in dungeons, you can use him in clan boss, doom tower, arena. This guy is such a good all-around champion, and there are so many different possible ways you can in fact build him. Alright guys, that's going to conclude my video today. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment if you think I missed anyone. Give me your thoughts on the champions I listed here. Don't forget, if you want to see that Warchief clan boss team, like the video, comment on the champion spotlight videos you want to see. And as always, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next video, and I will see you all in the next upload.